Yippee!
Hello everyone, Crow here, and if you can't tell by the title of the video, I have just purchased Duke Nukem Forever. It came out today. Now, this isn't the video just to say, hey, look, I bought Duke Nukem Forever, and I bought the PC version, and there's a good reason why I did. But it's why I bought this game. Now, we have to go way back to 96. Back when the original, I say the original Duke Nukem came out, but it's not the original Duke Nukem. It's actually the third Duke Nukem, Duke Nukem 3D. Now, at that time, 96, I had been in the Air Force for about a year. I mean, I had left, my computer and everything at home. It was like a 486, and around 96, I got into the military around 95. 96. I finally decided to buy another computer, and I bought a K5, an AMD K5 machine. One of the first games I bought was this, Duke Nukem 3D, the Atomic Edition. And I was a pretty big fan of shooters back then. Back before even Doom, I was playing Blake Stone. Not necessarily Wolfenstein 3D, although I have played that, but I played Blake Stone a lot when I was in high school. But when I saw this on the shelf, I picked it up. And I really enjoyed this game. I actually played this for a couple years. There's a lot of content on there. And then, afterwards, about a year later, in 97, you start hearing that there's another Duke Nukem title in production. They're making another Duke Nukem title. So, yeah, I was following it. The whole production, the years and years of production the game went through. All the trailers that came out, I saw it. So yeah, I wouldn't necessarily, at first you're kind of hyped, around 98, 99 when those trailers were coming out for the game, you're like, oh yeah, the game's going to look awesome. But then as years go on, you're kind of like, oh look, it's still around, they're still making that game? What is up with that? And then, even to the 2007 trailer took me out of, by surprise. Just out of nowhere, this Duke Nukem trailer comes out in 2007. Like, are they still planning on making this game? And, and then, of course, then you hear, oh, everybody at 3D Realms is fired. Okay, well, there's no way that game's coming out now. And then, 2010... oh, somebody else is taking over production. The game's still going to come out. And here we are today. I know the game was released in other countries about a week ago, but in the U.S. the game came out today. And I went and stopped off at Fry's and picked this up at my home. Yeah, if I didn't mention it, that this is the original copy of Duke Nukem 3D that I bought. It came in a big cardboard box like games back then used to come in, and it's just padding. It was filler. It's an attention grabber on the shelf. So I basically threw that box away, and I'm left with, the Duke Nukem 3D Atomic Edition, just the disc, because that's all I really need. I moved a lot back then. I didn't need to be carrying around big, giant game boxes. But basically, how was I not going to buy this game? I've been hearing... bad reviews. I've been hearing people defending the game, which isn't necessarily a good thing if people have to defend a game. But I had to buy this. It came out, if for anything but closure. I mean, it's a piece of history if you think about it. A game that was in development for 14 years. And there's even a Wikipedia page on the development cycle of this game, which is kind of ridiculous. And if you read it, it's really very interesting how the game had changed engines so many times, and how many times the game was almost completed. And the main problem, the whole lesson from this, is that if you're gonna start a project, have a finishing goal. That's the problem with this game, is that they started development, yet there was no idea for the finished project. They'd be working on it with no deadline, and all of a sudden say, hey, let's throw this in there, let's throw that in there, let's do this, let's do that. And working in a field where I do a lot of programming, you just can't do that. People try to do that to me all the time, and what winds up happening is you wind up with a big giant mess of a code because you start designing code to be optimized for for the specific task at hand. When you start throwing other things in there, you don't want to have to start and rewrite for that from scratch. You shoehorn that stuff in. And I have a feeling that, that just kept happening with this game. So I have not opened this yet. I have no idea really if I'm going to enjoy the game or not. I think I will, despite about how bad I've been hearing this game is. But it's just something I had to buy. And for the reasons I've mentioned before. It's just, a piece of history for closure. Just to say, hey, look, I've been keeping track of this game for 14 years, and now it's in my hand. That is just crazy. So, yeah, that's all I wanted to say in this video. I've probably overstated my cause. I just wanted to, show my point of view, because there's a lot of people going out there and buying the game because of the hype. But, the recent hype. I mean, I've been looking at 14 years of hype for this game, and I know there's no way it's going to cover all that hype. If anything, if it's disappointing, it's disappointing. If it's not fun, it's not fun. But hopefully it'll be interesting, to say the least. So thanks everyone for watching. And just one last shot here. I thought this might be interesting. Look at this. Duke Nukem 3. Oh, look at that reflection. That's bad. Okay, Duke Nukem 3D and oh crap. Okay, there we go. Duke Nukem 3D Atomic Edition alongside Duke Nukem Forever. Together at last. Separated at birth. Who knows? I'm just going crazy now. Better stop now. See you next time. Bye.
Gentlemen, this may be our last day on Earth.
Let's hit the karaoke bar.